Hi, I am Pratim Ranjan Bose, and you are watching Podcast with Pratim, presented by Iravati Research and Communication Center, or IRCC. In this episode, we will discuss about Bangladesh-Myanmar humanitarian corridor and other issues. I have with me Professor Lieutenant Colonel Nazmul Ahsan Kalimullah from Dhaka. Dr. Kalimullah is the founder and chairman of National Election Observation Council, or JANIPOP, as it is referred in Bangladesh. He is the former vice chancellor of Begum Rokeya University in Rangpur.
Right.
Welcome to my show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, let me begin with a more general topic. Over the last decade, there has been a gradual shift in India's posturing against terror and security risks, and the way global measures treat India. The recent spate of hard measures, both economic and military, against Pakistan and the soft reaction of the global measures are examples. How do you look at it from the perspective of the neighborhood?
Well, in 47, after the British Raj left the subcontinent, the dominion of India and Pakistan emerged. And more than 550 or so princely states under British paramountcy, they joined either India or Pakistan, or within a couple of years or so, the process was complete. And then French and Portuguese enclaves also eventually integrated, along with the Omani enclave at Gwadar in Pakistan. So, in the 50s, both the countries became republics. From dominion status into republic status, they gained. And ended up engaging in successive wars in 48, 65, 71, and then again the Kargil fiasco, 99. And the latest skirmish, which is going on at the moment. So in the process, India emerged as the victorious actor in the whole scenario, because Pakistan lost in 1971, and the Eastern Wing sort of got independence and emerged as
if I may interject you,
yes, please.
The issue of terror began sometime in the 1980s. That's right. When Pakistan started the proxy wars and the non-state actors started invading, began with Afghanistan, Kashmir. It has become a non-traditional stuff. And what we are seeing, since then, we have seen many attacks. The attack on Indian Parliament in 2001, the 26/11 attack in Bombay, but our reaction was always restrained, and we did not show our hard power. But beginning 2016, Uri attack, and which was followed up by surgical attack into Pak-occupied Kashmir, followed by 2019 Balakot, which was a response to Pulwama, and 2025 sharp reaction against killing of 25 Indian citizens and 1 Nepali citizen in Pahalgam. So this time it has been the largest airstrike in the 50 years, in half a century. So I'm keeping myself, leaving aside the wars. It is a war against terror and security. That's it. We are not fighting a war with Pakistan. We have nothing to do with Pakistan or anyone else. But the way I read it, the Indian stance is that it is getting hard getting increasingly harder on the issue of terror and security risks? So that was my question.
Well, if you analyze the whole issue from a larger canvas, you must not exclude the presence and the role which has all to do with former Mashriq Pakistan, i.e. East Pakistan and present-day Bangladesh too. After the defeat of 1971, Pakistan, with the advent of successive governments after the assassination of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder father, in 1975, they sort of were waging a proxy war in Northeast India too. This long tradition of insurgency was there during Pakistan days. Mr. Lal Denga and Fizo, the Mizo and Naga rebel leaders, they were given sanctuary in the then East Pakistan capital, Dhaka.
Yes, yes.
And after the emergence of Bangladesh, they had to leave. And for some time in the hill tracts, the Naga and Mijos, they were still there. So Sheikh Mujib had to come up with a combing operation in 1974. And later on, with the change of government, TNV, Tripura National Volunteers, ULFA, and other outlaws, they were receiving logistics and other type of supports from the post-75 governments, it's believed by pundits. And the supply line was again interrupted after the assumption of Sheikh Hasina in the power,
yes,
and Awami League.
Yes.
And with the signing of land boundary agreement between Hasina and Modi during Hasina's rule, another chapter was completed. And again, this 4-truck load of ammunition, which was confiscated in Chittagong port. And before then, yeah, that's right. And before that, there's another confiscation, which was held at Chofol Dondi near Cox's Bazar. That completely vanished from the discussion. And this type of, off and on incursion and supply of logistics continued. And the whole border with Mizoram and Chin and Rakhine state of Myanmar, along with Bangladesh, sort of is quite porous. And, the outlaw elements from all these countries, they were carving out safe sanctuaries in our territory. And, effective control is not there. In de jure sense is there, international boundary is there, but in de facto sense, these are thickly wooded places and high altitude terrain, so difficult to patrol and guard. And we don't have border road system. The process has started, but we have not completed it yet. So in a way, these are, I would say, unguarded sort of porous outposts, you see, in that sense of the term. And Myanmar authorities at one point started putting landmines along the border. And these are migratory routes for wild elephants. So some of the elephants were caught sort of in the middle, and in the process succumb to death. So these are the proofs that the border was infested with landmines. And, the issue of the emergence of Arakan army in Rakhine province and their consolidation of control has come up with a new dimension. Almost 90% of the landmass of Rakhine state is under their control at the moment. Only 3 major cities are still left with the central government.
My question was that whether Bangladesh is taking note of India's rising concern against terror and security risks.
To be blunt, I would say that they're mostly providing lip service, following a diplomatic nicety and escorting. But in reality, we can do little, you see, because the external forces and the big actors in the world chess game, they have interest in the region. For example, People's Republic of China, for that matter, Pakistan too, and its all-powerful state-within-state actor, ISI. They are quite active. And also Russia. You cannot chuck out the Russian Federation from the radar too. United States of America, its NATO allies, they have their interest too. For example, during Biden administration, America has come up with this so-called Burma Act. They decided to ascribe a colonial name, Burma, instead of Myanmar.
Yes, that is 2022. And this act has become a serious handle by which the state is intervening into the affairs of Myanmar.
That's right. And the Biden administration all along provided moral support to anti-Hasina agitators. And during July and August of last year, they emerged as the victorious party, and the student people's upsurge or revolution brought down the government of Sheikh Hasina, which was there for more than 15 years or so at stretch.
Yes.
And Biden administration's moral support gave them a moral boost too. And it is believed that George Soros, the Jewish-born American billionaire, or say Chelonia, he sort of injected a lot of money in the process.
Yes. If I can just take you to the security issues. Now, Ambassador Binas Sikri came on my show just a couple of weeks before, and he said that Dr. Yunus' administration has crossed India's security deadlines. And one of the issues of this is a real irritant. It's like the repeated reference of quote unquote 7 sisters, right, from Dr. Yunus to others in his administration or linked to administration. I'm not even taking reference of some retired army person who took to Facebook the other day to, say launching an attack on Northeast. But it has been very interesting coinage also. They are not saying Northeast India when they are inviting business, Chinese business, to do business in in the region. They are saying 7 sisters. So which in a way,
that's right,
the Indian policy think tanks read it as a de-recognition of Indian state or Indian control over the area. Anyway, I'm not getting into that, but But the prime issue is that Indian policy think tanks think that Dr. Yunus' administration has crossed India's security red lines. And of late, they have stopped the Facebook activity a little that I see over the last week. So can we expect any change in attitude from this government?
Yes and no. You see, when Mr. Lal Denga came up with the peace accord with the central government of India, he succeeded in winning some provisions in the accord that, as it's a landlocked state and it has international boundary with Myanmar and Bangladesh, and they would be given the autonomy to do business with both the countries, and that will give them the leverage in the sense that also acted as kind of clue for the actors in Bangladesh to get the encouragement for coming up with this type of assertions and claims, number one. Number two, Major General retired Fazlur Rahman, who was the former Director General of BDR, nowadays known as BGB, Border Guard Bangladesh. He has been entrusted with the responsibility of a commission all to do with the investigation of the BDR carnage during Sheikh Hasina's rule back in 2009. Immediately, she formed the government after that. And General Fazlur Rahman retired. He, on record, has come up with this clarion call, which you mentioned lately. And Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh came up with an explanation that it is his personal opinion.
They detached from it.
Yes, but they didn't sort of come up with any move that, and he still continues to chair the commission, you see. So we, in a way, in Bangladesh, people are enjoying absolute liberty that they can come up with any sort of assertion, sitting in important positions, and still can disassociate or be allowed to disassociate from their personal comments. They can continue to come up with any type of remarks which may go against the government official position, which is unprecedented in Bangladesh ever since it emerged as an independent country.
In fact, a minister right on the victory day of December 16 has came up with a post saying that, expressing his vision of Bangladesh with Northeast India. Now, the issue is that whether I'd be correct to assume from your statement is that this will continue, willy-nilly will continue. So the threat on Northeast India or Bangladesh thinks that it can leverage on Northeast India. Is that correct?
Well, I don't want to jump into conclusion, but hint is there, clue is there. And it's maybe it is a conscious policy pursuance, you see. And Northeast India, according to this quarter of people that is landlocked, only the Shiliguri neck or chicken neck is the conduit through which you can move. Otherwise, the whole territory, comprising 7 states, they are fully dependent on Bangladesh, Myanmar, and China, for that matter, or Bhutan or Nepal.
Not necessarily. Logistics-wise, we are quite okay. And at the same time, there are many landlocked countries in the Central Asia. So So, ideally, the problem is not with doing business with Bangladesh or Bhutan or whatever. That is fine. But the repeated reference or that, someone is trying to leverage its, a portion of its bigger neighbor, that has been, and that has been the question. So, let me move to the next question, which is related to the Bangladesh-Myanmar humanitarian corridor. We hear that unofficial transfer of resources has begun from this corridor, though it is not yet open. How true is that? And what are your concerns?
Well, for some people, it's a historic opportunity. Historically, the territory starting from
if I may just add to my question, how do Bangladesh gain? I didn't understand. Both the Tatmadaw and the Arakan army are antagonistic to Rohingyas. So let us not expect a Rohingya repatriation, theoretically. So how does Bangladesh gain out of it?
Well, what I was trying to say that, the territory beyond Feni River, I mean, northern Bangladesh, northern Chittagong, till the Naf estuary, in southernmost point of northern Arakan. And the territory beyond Naf estuary, which is known as present-day Rakhine province, was known as Southern Arakan. So the whole territory was single territory, and the culture was similar, and also the whole territory was personalized into Islamic sort of ummah. And later on, after the conquest, Mughal conquest of Chittagong, they named it Islamabad. And the neighboring southern Arakan became a sort of protectorate of Mughal administration. And for some time, they were found providing tribute to the Suba Bangla administration of the Mughals. And this history of the Mughal prince, Shah Shuja, who was given assurance by the Arakan ruler to get sanctuary there, but he was massacred along with his family members. And that was actually a kind of a provocation for Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, to come up with an expedition against the Arakani regime, and so on. The Portuguese and other European sort of actors, they were quite active in the region for some time. They had their citadel in Sandeep Island, offshore island in Bangladesh. And different sort of bandit groups under the leadership of Sebastio Gonzalez and others, they were active and were fighting against the Mughal rule alongside the Arakanis for long. And the Burmese king invaded at one point and conquered Arakan and annexed
we all know the history. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. And that was not a long period. Eventually, the Britishers conquered both Myanmar, Burma, and Arakan, and it came under British rule. And during the last stage of British Raj, one delegation from the Arakan people, Muslim people, they went to Muhammad Ali Jinnah and expressed their interest to join Pakistan, but Jinnah refused. And this problem continued, During Pakistan period, there were incursions from the Arakan.
So does Bangladesh see an
Arakan
opportunity of regaining some part of land, or Rohingyas will have their own country? What is the plan?
Well, lately, Mr. Sherman, American congressman, came up with this suggestion that Arakan should be annexed by Bangladesh. That is the first international pronouncement. Hasina government refused to comply with. And then we found that lately Jamaat-e-Islami Bangladesh, when they met a Chinese delegation, Communist Party delegation in Dhaka, came up with a proposal that there should be the establishment of a Muslim state for the Rohingyas within the confine of present-day Rakhine province.
Right.
You see.
Right.
So
now this is all fine, but at the same time, the Bamar Buddhists, which essentially form the Tatmadaw, they are an extremely resilient race, and same with Arakanese Buddhists. So this is not going to go down, well, and this is likely to if this is a push, then it will lead to a bigger conflict. And if I just recall what former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said, is that there is a proposal to form a Christian state. Now, Christian means Chin. Chin state is Christian dominated.
That's right.
So for Bangladesh, is it really affordable to fish in this troubled water?
Well, our Honorable Security Advisor, who happens to be the High Representative to deal with Rohingya issues in Yunus administration, he stated openly, whatever comment people pass must maintain a relation with Arakan army, because they are the de facto rulers.
That's
alongside
fine.
our
That's
border.
fine. You have to, yes. Yes. But the gains are a little unclear that why Bangladesh has to open the corridor. That is a little unclear part. I mean, there is no. It is not that that Bangladesh is the only provision. There were other options to send out humanitarian relief. So why a very rather remote area of Bangladesh is chosen for that? And then we hear stories of Arakan army enjoying their time 10 kilometers inside Bangladesh. Now, some say it is part of the culture, but whatever is happening, it is very, we are not aware exactly. It is not happening in a very transparent manner. That is the biggest, because if I take, why India, anywhere in the world, normally when you do such a deal, international stuff, so you tell your parliament, or at least you tell your all party representatives. For example, for everything over here, there are standing committees and the government meets. Even when Hasina came over to India, the government immediately met the standing committee and informed them about the situation and what. So anyway, so this is an unclear part of the story. I'm taking you to the last part, and I want to.
No. Let me come up with some comments with reference to your assertion. The Secretary General of UN, Mr. Antonio Guterres, he came over during the month of Ramadan and had the largest iftar, which ever happened in Bangladesh. Almost 100,000 Rohingyas they attended, along with the head of the government of present-day Bangladesh, Professor Yunus, with traditional garb. And there, after his during that visit, Antonio Guterres expressed this interest and say that Bangladesh can come up with a humanitarian corridor to facilitate the people of Rakhine. And Bangladesh authorities, they sort of complied with. came up with favorable response. Our honorable advisor in charge of Minister of Foreign Affairs, he stated publicly that Bangladesh on principle has agreed with this proposal, and with some conditions. He didn't elaborate which are those conditions. And later on, we found that in an area north of Teknaf called Silkhali village, which is actually kind of an designated artillery range for our armed forces, has been designated to act as the base for this operation, so-called corridor. And the process has begun. From informal sources, we learned that even a few American citizens or belonging to American sort of establishment, they came over and visited these facilities and areas, and it's believed that some of them even crossed the border and entered into Rakhine state, and they are still there. You know, there is incidents of such incursions in the Balkan region, you know, during Kosovo crisis or Bosnian crisis. American military advisors were there to sort of pave the way for the liberation of those people. And that may happen with reference to this region as well, because America, no doubt, considers itself as the custodian of democracy in the present world. Lately, President Donald Trump has assumed presidency, and he's a blunt person, you know. He's coming up with clarion calls and also new ideas, you know. And all of us, we know that at one point, the world was Eurocentric, then it became North Atlantic centric. Now Asia as a continent has become the most important region in the world, and it has become the hotbed of conflict too. The conflict has shifted from Europe to Asia.
Okay. Let me wrap this up with the final question that I had.
Yes, please.
Recently, in a podcast hosted by Monjurul Alam Panna, you said that 8 advisors on ministers of Dr. Yunus' cabinet are holding foreign passports, I mean dual passports. They are Bangladeshis as well as Americans or Europeans, we don't know. Now, who are they? And whether it is allowed by law. I mean, a country is governed by citizen of another country is pretty awkward. And you also somewhat indirectly linked it with the grant of the corridor. Can you please explain?
Well, in fact, I referred to Mr. Chandan Nandi, Delhi-based famous journalist who often contributes on a regular basis on different Bangladesh issues, and also attends different Bengali talk shows, which are being broadcasted from UK or Canada, or for that matter, America. And he mentioned that, and I refer to that, as well as I know that a lot of high-ups in the present regime, with the rank and status of senior secretary or chairman of different commissions, you know, reform commissions, they're American citizens or Canadian citizens, for that matter, Dutch passport holders.
Previous regime or this regime?
No, present regime, you know.
Okay.
That's part of history, you know. There are similar examples during Awami League rule as well. even BNP rule too. So as per the constitutional arrangement, if I refer to Part 5 of Legislature, Chapter 1, with reference to Parliament, Clause 2C says, quote, acquires, if someone acquires the citizenship of or affairs or acknowledges allegiance to a foreign state, the person concerned is not eligible to become a parliament member, or for that matter, the office of a minister.
And if you cannot be a parliament member, you cannot be a minister, period.
Usually, you can be a technocrat minister, but these are minorities in the arrangement.
Okay.
And with reference to that, when Mr. Milon became state minister for education during BNP government, the lawsuit was there against such assumption, and it continued for long. And later on, we found Mr. Abul Hassan Chaudhry, state minister for foreign affairs during Hasina regime. He had British passport, and similar instances can be found during the Qatar government of President Yazuddin Ahmed. And in present day administration, for example, the senior secretary with reference to SDG affairs, Lamia Moshad, she has Canadian passport. Munir Haider, he just came from the United States of America to assume a position in chief advisor's office, with high status. Mr. Khalil, who happens to be the
national security advisor
with ministerial status. Yes, with ministerial status. He's an American citizen. For that matter,
he is an American citizen.
Yeah,
is the
right.
NSA an American citizen?
Professor Ali Riaz, who is in charge of this constitution rewriting reform commission, he's an American citizen. He's a good friend of mine, and is Illinois professor, Illinois University.
Yes.
Professor. You see, Dr. Badul Alam Majumdar. He is from America too. So is our honorable chief advisor, Professor Double Laureate Yunus. He did his PhD from Vanderbilt University in the United States of America in the 60s, from 65 for a long 5 years. And then he joined in Tennessee University as assistant professor. He served there till 1972. And after the emergence of Bangladesh came, he had an American wife as well, and a ballerina daughter from his first marriage. So a lot of people believe that he holds an American passport. He came to Bangladesh after the independence and tried to become an assistant professor of Jahangirnagar University, and then vice chancellor.
What surprises me? I mean, let me leave out Dr. Yunus, because you said a lot of people believe. So you said with certain degree of conviction that Mr. Ali Riaz, who is drafting a constitution.
That's right.
And Professor Ali Riaz and the National Security Advisor, Mr. Khalil, they are American citizens. Now, I have a simple, and I would like to end it here. I have a simple question to you. If you were an American citizen and or any citizen of another country, a developed country, a big power, right? And the Bangladeshi as well. Now, and you didn't give up that citizenship, meaning that you value it naturally. So which countries' wishes will prevail in your decisions?
Definitely, when I show allegiance to a country, for example, like the mighty America,
America has very strict laws.
And before that, I require to denounce my previous association with another state. That's the process, formal process. You must give up. And if you are a Commonwealth citizen, that is permissible, I'd say, because Bangladesh is a Commonwealth country, head of the Commonwealth is British king or queen. That is allowed and acceptable. But so this is a gray area which can be explored.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for joining the show.